Hey there, everybody. Today we have a special event. We did a Dragons v Team Tuck. Now, this was a best out of 5 4v4 against the two different groups. And to represent the Tuck team as their correspondent, we have Nims here. Nim, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, good day, everyone. Yeah, I'm just a player who often plays with these people. I'm not part of their team or nothing, but I do love them dearly.
Yeah, he is. We have permission from their team for him to speak on their behalf and kind of give us some insight on who they are. Now, for our group, we have Ash, myself, Galactic, and Incan, all very regular faces in the Turin community for all those who've seen them. Ash is specifically just an HRE player. I'm obviously a French main. Galactic does all that booms, and Incan makes Mangudai and Mangudai, products.
Yeah. So on the Tuck team, we have Bella, Nams here as chastity belts, Deep Shine and Jade. I think we were talking before this match. Nams and Deep Shine are really good players. I think about the Conqueror level. Bella is also really good, and Jade I think is the team captain.
All right.
Yeah, Jade's on French again, which she does. She's been practicing that a lot lately. So I'm curious to see what she's come up with.
Well, that's interesting. I'll say it is funny. A lot of the times, the French players take lead as the captains. I've usually lead as captain for our group. I wonder if that's due to the French just usually having good map awareness, as they're, that's how you play French, is know where people are, when they're going to be there, and how people play is kind of a requirement.
You definitely don't want to be stuck playing harassing just one opponent as French, right? You can get most value out of just running across the map, knowing what everyone's kind of up to.
Yeah, the mobility is really important there.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready to get started?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get
mark.
Yeah, let's go right now. Now, at the very bottom, to the south corner to the west corner, is the Dragons team with Ash in the far west. South of him is Inca. South of him is myself. To the east, we have Galactic. And then mirroring us, we have Deep Shine in the more east corner, along with Jade. Then we have Bella. Is it Bella or Belle? I saw it with an E.
You can call her Bella.
Okay.
We call her Bella.
Okay. Then we have Chastity Belt, a.k.a. Nims, who is here on the far left for their team. Now we see... or go ahead.
I think Deep Shine's position here is kind of interesting. She's kind of away from the rest of her team already.
Yeah, this is actually kind of awkward because both Chastity Belt and Deep Shine, they're kind of separated out, and with Chastity Belt having the cliffs between her and Bella. A really cheeky play would be just to put a wall between these two rock faces. And then the ability for them to support each other is almost impossible. They would be easier just going to the middle of the map almost, While Deep Shine, all her resources are kind of forward, all her big nodes. She has some golds and stuff out behind her, but none of it's easy to wall. And as a passive, that is really bad. You want to be in the back line.
A bad time if Dragons decides to really push her on this, because it's really hard to reinforce this part here.
Yep.
I think Chastity Bell already opened up with a barracks and is already sending two men-at-arms on the way.
Yeah, and this feels like a little bit too greedy a play. In a 4v4 where you're able to support your allies and you have such a long distance to march over, an early men-at-arm isn't as efficient. This literally cannot get across the map before Ash is going to have the gold he needs for age up, which defeats kind of the purpose.
Worse yet is the fact that the player closest to Chastity Belt here is the Mongol player, and those men-at-arms will not be able to dive that Mongol TC because they're just neatly onto the gold, right? There's no way you can do any real damage with those.
Yeah. Well, she's closest to Ash, which is HRE, which I'll say rushing an HRE player in the Dark Age can pay a lot of dividends. in so much that you can delay their feudal, which then really delays their castle. But if you can't stop the Aachen from going up to begin with, it, in my opinion, isn't worth the value. Though Ash making a bit of a mistake, he didn't get his sheep dropped off soon enough, so he had some idle vills there for a bit. So already kind of a, I think kind of a mistake on that flank from both players. Now, we do see Deep Shine is collecting a lot of wood right now for this point in the game. Definitely going for a heavy economic wing, so they're going to just be pumping out the TCs. At least as a Basset in a 4v4, you need a minimum of 2 TC in my opinion, unless you're on a trade map. Just because you don't have a lot of value in your knights, your camels are very expensive and not great at killing vills like a knight would. So their only real option is to boom and boom hard, which
it's worth noting here that like on Team Tuck, all the Egypts are kind of late comparatively.
Yeah, this is
the School of Cavalry is coming up pretty quick, which is good, right? You want that you can get your knight out quicker than JD can as the French.
Yep, but that. I want to make a quick point on that. One thing I've seen a lot of people make the mistake of as French is they want to get out their knights right away, but it should always be noted that any team with experience is going to expect some knights. So the only thing you can really harass in a 4v4 is the gold node, and almost everyone puts a tower on it right away if they're across from the French player. In my opinion, you're actually better off trying to get a bit of boom off or just a more stable eco, maybe age up with only 2 to 3 vills, because that'll allow you to be able to get wheelbarrow and all your eco stuff up faster, and then adjust to the situation. But that's obviously my preference. Like that's
I think it kind of comes down to like, you know, positioning and everything, because if Deep Shine of pink and Galactic red, like if those were the French players, right, JD and French, then it would really matter. You can really get that knight out on that gold and stop maybe even the tower from coming up.
Yep, and I will say, Nims, aka Chastity Belt's early minute arm getting over to me definitely screwed me up. I was not prepared for a like an immediate feudal minute arm to be in my base. Luckily, I had already started the tower and I had JD building it, and a minute arm is not killing JD faster than she can build that tower. No. So that minute arm, while it slowed down my eco a little bit, isn't gonna get enough of a payoff. Especially now that JD has gone up to the 2nd tier. And I will say, it is always a good option in the immediate start of the game. Try to take out the French player or the aggro players as much as you can, because
for sure.
you can slow down their roll so much. No, we do see a mistake from Jade. She doesn't look like she was microing her knight, and I was able to get the charge off on her knight, which immediately allows me to win that trade. Even though she got the knight out faster and she'll get a reinforcement sooner, I have a knight that's mostly full health, hers is at half, and I still have Joan. So I actually win that fight.
Now, and it's so important to win these early fights with those knights, right? Because it really decides where you're going to be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
If that's in their base, you're off to a much greater start than you know, if you have to fight in your own base, right? Because you want to use those knights on the offensive. That's where they shine. You want to use them to harass their food, right? Get on their deer camps, get on their golds, but like not you don't want them to use it just running around your base running defense.
Yep. Now we do see Deep Shine going for a super greedy 2nd TC. All the way out on the middle of the map on the edge. That is, for me, that is too
two berry
greedy.
bushes, so it does look very enticing. I do get it, but it's very far away. It's really hard to reinforce that.
I would say making that like a 3rd TC would have been better. Get like your 2nd TC up in the north again with the deer pack in the wood line, where you know knights aren't going to be right away. And then on top of that, like, going out on the map requires that you to have map control, and their French player hasn't gotten that. Like, Jade has not gotten a single villager kill at this point, despite pumping out a bunch of knights, and most of her knights starting to get injured. So, like, we're not getting enough value out of this, like, huge investment. You got 3 knights. That's like you could get a second TC almost for this amount of resources, you know. So like that's you gotta get
TC for Deep Shine is also coming down, marrying the third TC for Galactic. So they're mostly following the same rules here, I think.
Yep, they're both doing a very good job about booming, and I think Galactic's though his base is more tight, making it more defensive, and trying to raid him is going to be much more difficult than raiding Deep Shine. Deep Shine actually takes a huge hit as she loses about 3 vills from me due to the fact that Jade can't, now that I've secured my base, Jade's knights just cannot pierce through it, even though I only have half the numbers, which allows me to get out on the map. Meanwhile, in the north, Bella is having a really tough time. Only going into spears from her military schools is not the answer.
And notably, there are Mangudai on the field, which is always a real problem in team games. Like, as soon as Mangudai are out, your team needs to be aware that, walls are going to be an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to build your farms, at some point, you want to do a farm transition, those Mangudai are going to be there, killing all of your farmers.
Yep. And if I were Bell, I would have gone into mass archers, knowing that I'm across directly from the Mongol players, so they're likely to come for me. And I would have just tried my best to get a tower on the gold and the berries, and just try to bunker up with the twin minaret madras, the free sheep from the vizier point, and just get the tower on the gold and then eventually the berries. That would have been the best bet. That would have made her very hard to raid. The mass archers could have punished.
I kind of like archers on Ottomans too, like with the matter.
Yeah, no, it's very efficient. I think they went the early spears fearing Keshiks and knights, and there was no respect put on the Mangudai play. Which, if anyone who has a lot of experience knows, when you're playing at a higher level against the Mongols, they will go Mangudai because the value you can get out of them is much higher than what you can get out of Keshiks.
There's another 3 villager kills for you there. Trying to build another TC on that deer camp that you said you would have to have gone for first.
Yep, that's actually part of why I say that.
That's a lot of food.
That's a lot of food. That was a lot of wasted idle time by the Vills. There was some dead Vills. At this point, even though Deep Shine and Galactic are both on 3 TC, those greedy TC placements has let Galactic get a 9 villager lead on her, which is not good. More
importantly, Deep Shine is being harassed right now by a battering ram, which is Galactic is actually controlling very, very well.
Oh yeah, he is a very experienced player. He is, besides Incan, he is probably the best player on our team.
I love the control on his spears, though. It's really, really good.
Yep. When we were in the voice chat, we were specifically telling him, dude, just garrison up that ram. Don't lose anything you don't have to. Just keep the pressure on Deep Shine and keep her low on Vills, because you don't have to kill her. We just need to gain the tempo. Because right now, Bella is getting her... I hate to say it, but she's kind of getting wrecked over there. Down to 32 Vills against the average, high 30s. Now, Ash is a little bit behind.
It's not just Bella either, because Deep Shine, right, is on 3 TCs, 4 TCs even. But all of her food is down there with those berries, right, with that town center.
Yeah, so she's idling her food really bad, which means she's not going to be able to efficiently keep up with the TCs while getting military. Then on top of that, now we got both Incan and myself working together to take out both Jade and Belle. And Belle's trying to get these Vills to get up walls in the front, but I've already parked knights up front to take care of it. I'm just waiting for the knights to have left the base, so to speak.
Oh yeah. No, Deep Shine is in absolute trouble. I mean, Bella's now supporting Deep Shine, which that's a long walk. Again, because Deep Shine is so far down, right? There's the cliff in between him and everything, and then she could really use those units at home, honestly.
Yeah, and because both Jade and Belle responded to that, Jade is just losing all her Vills. Jade is now down to 36, and continuing to go down lower and lower. That is not where you want to be at this point. Like, you cannot afford these losses.
Jade is in Galactic's base, actually, and she could have gotten a lot of kills, I think.
She got a few number of kills.
No, she's getting kills now. She's getting kills.
Yeah, but at this point, like, Galactic is at 57 eco compared to Deepshine's 9, and he's only on 3 compared to her 4. Like, that, you need a lot more damage coming off to make that worth it. And especially not at the price of your own villagers. Like, Galactic is already efficiently boomed. His resource count is looking pretty good. He's got almost 900 wood, 200 gold, and his food, he's got 24 Abbasid Vills on food. He's going to be fine. Though we are seeing Jade making some good reactions here, trying to get the Knights like harried and try to put on pressure simultaneously. That's a good reaction that she needed to make. Belle, though, is just not able to keep up with these Mangudai anymore. All those spears not being in base, not finishing up her walls. Like, she's trying to do too many things at once and was too greedy at the beginning, I think. And all the things
it's a lot of conflicting priorities, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you would even want to open with the military school on Ottomans in this scenario. What you did, but
I don't think you do. I think you go into it you prepare a second TC and you get up early walls, because as Ottomans you're not helpful in this matchup until you get mass or until you hit castle.
No, but like it gets you like two spearmen, right? At the start. And do you really need those when you're tucked all the way into the corner? Like, she's the player that's first away from everyone.
Yep. Meanwhile, in the Far East, we see that Belle or Nims and Ashe are both kind of just booming up. The Ashe now getting like 3 to 4 relics. Nims on double TC under White Tower. Both of them are very caged
so
up.
many relics in. It's crazy.
Yeah, I will say Ashe is actually
1, 2, 3, 4. We're already in 4 relics.
Yep, and he's still out going to get more. As soon as he drops off, he's going to be out to get the rest. Ashe is actually one of my most recent students. I was teaching him how to play HRE, especially in team games. He'd only played 1v1s up until recently. And he's showing that he was quick to catch on to how you win this game style, you know? You go out, you get relics, you let your team take the brunt of the heavy aggro, and then once you start getting the relics, you pump those men-at-arms. I know that Nims has a really tight base, double TC White Tower, but look at the wood line. If he can get her off of that, she's not going to be able to make much siege. And she doesn't have any wood right now, and the only way you're going to win a Castle Age fight is with siege specifically. So if he can,
I think I would have loved for Jade to bring some of those knights over to that trade, because the Mongols are going very hard on trade behind this, the Silver Tree.
Yep, but it's a hard decision.
Mangudai, wreaking havoc behind on Jade's food here.
Yeah,
seems like there are quite a few openings still that the Mangudai can run through. Notably, there between Bella and Jade, there's no wall yet, and then on the far east side, there's no walls there either. You do need walls against them when Mangudai are out.
Yep, or at least you need good tower and good microing. Like right now, we're saying seems like a destruction for Team Tuck. On a total of 35 Vills for Belle. We got 72 for Nims, which is good. That's where she needs to be. Deep Shine's on 71. That's actually, good, but not where she should be on 4TC. And Jade's at 36. Bella and Jade are just in the pits economically. And those Mangudai are showing no mercy, as Belle still can't get on any food sources on the map.
I'm kind of surprised Deep Shine managed to hold on so well to that TC that was all the way out there.
Yeah, I think that's honestly an issue, though. I think she needed to abandon it. All the resources that were spent trying to defend it has slowed Team Tuck down completely. They lost too many militaries over it. They lost too much of time over it. If that had just been placed on that deer pack and woodline earlier, and the rest of the TCs were where they are now, she would be in a much better position. She would have
needs to pull back her villagers right now, because there is a horde of French knights in there.
If there's one thing I know how to do is get the vills. It doesn't matter because you have
It's not
Joan
enough
getting.
to. She's fighting on her own here as well. Where are Jade's knights? Let's take a look.
Jade is trying to chasing down Mangadai.
Chasing Mangadai. Yeah.
Which is not what you do. Knights cannot catch those.
You can't really catch up with them.
Yeah, and now we see the last of Deep Shine's Vills are just getting encircled right now. This is the end of like Deep Shine's eco. She was catching up, but now she's just, that's it. At the total, there's a near, what is that, like 30-40% eco advantage on the dragons, with a massive military advantage, almost double the numbers.
Jade's even off the goal because of those Mangadai now.
Yep, and that's the surrender.
She's been chasing those Mangadai for a good long while, but those really needed to be in space. Yeah, Bella is calling it there already.
Yep. That is rough to see. That's not how you respond. When you have a Mongol-French combination, it is all about playing the defense unless you have a better Civ grouping for aggro, which they really didn't. Ottomans needs time to set up. English needs time to set up. Abbasid definitely needs time to set up. Their only aggro Civ was French, so their best bet would have been to try to hold back, boom up, be really secure, use knights for really careful, like efficient trades to hit eco, and that probably would have been their like avenue to victory. There was just not respect put on the Mangadai harass there, I think was the big thing. Now, with that said and done, thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Nims, for joining us for this game.
You got it. This was fun.
Yep, you all take care, and I hope you all join us for the next video.